this morning, but I really appreciate it. So tell me a little bit about, it's been a little while since you have been in studio. Before we get into what you've been up to over the last 6 months or so, tell me first, remind me, what is the Christian County Economic Development Corporation and what is your mission?
Well, I think we would say that the process is one that, in order for economic development to be successful, we think in Christian County, it has to be kind of a very large, coordinated effort, accomplishing the things that we think are necessary to achieve job creation in Christian County. So the whole goal of CCEDC is to have a unified approach to trying to accomplish that and to try to create new jobs in Christian County. So I think that would be our mission, and that's the way we move and try to get organized for the whole county so that we all kind of know what everybody's doing, and we're trying to do the tasks that we think will make us successful in job creation.
What kind of developments have you seen since the last time me and you talked?
Well, what we've been mainly working on, I think, as we came off of a period of COVID, in a couple of year period there, maybe 3, it just seemed like things kind of ground to a halt a little bit. And so what we've been trying to do is work with the different communities in Christian County to put together a program that we think gets us back in the ball game, gets us back doing the things that we need to do to be successful in trying to attract new employers, new jobs to the community, and also addressing the problems that some of our employers are having that have naturally come up during a COVID environment. So there's some of those we're trying to help them get through those types of problems, but mainly it's to develop a program where it's a unified economic development effort for all of Christian County, including Taylorville. And it's important for Taylorville mainly because we have the new park, as you know, the new industrial park out by Walmart there, and we're ready now to market those lots and get this moving a little bit. So it's an exciting time in Taylorville.
On that note, how would you characterize the economic development situation, for lack of a better term, as of right now in Christian County?
Well, I think, the economic development needs of each of the communities in Christian County is a little bit different. What Taylorville might look at as economic development, the cities of Palmer and Morrisonville and Edinburgh, they might have a different view of economic development. If they are successful in attracting a new storefront, a new restaurant, something like that, that would be more of an area where they would be really trying to accomplish that. For Taylorville, we're interested in job providers. We're interested in new companies that are considering an expansion or relocation, and we want to look at job creation very, very hot and heavy in Taylorville right at the moment. So I think that might be a little bit of the differences that are among the different communities in Christian County. Payne is doing a great job right now. They've got a good economic development plan. They have a new not a new director. She's been there for a little while, Kirby Kasner, doing a great job. The mayor's real aggressive in Payne, Mayor Pastor, and they're doing a great job in Payne. So we hope to duplicate some of their efforts. They're doing well right now.
If I may summarize a little bit there for you, Dick, it sounds like the focus for Christian County Economic Development Corporation is really centered on the industrial park of Taylorville, but also keeping in mind some of the other communities in Christian County.
Well, certainly, if you look at, I think the numbers, and you might know these better than I do, but I think some of the numbers might be that around 50% of the county's population lives within a 5-mile radius of Taylorville. So if we're talking about 33,000 people in our county, you have 17,000 people that live pretty close to Taylorville. So as we impact Taylorville, we impact about 50% of the population of our county. So naturally, Taylorville tends to kind of lead the way in terms of economic development and probably gets a larger portion of the effort to try, and particularly now when we have a brand new industrial park after we haven't had one for a number of years because of the mine subsidence in the old park. So this is a really important thing that we have
Of
the new
course.
park. Yes.
And in a way, when you talk about populations and whatnot, it's an equity standpoint, right? You want to put the right amount of effort into the right amount of population around the area.
I think so. Yeah, we want to help all of the communities in Christian County, and we meet, as you can tell in the plan that we've developed, one of the committees is a group of the existing mayors in all of the cities in Christian County, because we want them to feel that we're here for them, and we want to work cooperatively with them regardless of what the economic development project is in their community. So yeah, we're trying to work with everybody in the county, but there is an emphasis on Taylorville because of the population issues.
Nothing wrong with an equitable approach. And I'm glad you brought up the committees, because when I think of the Economic Development Corporation, I think of you as just a one entity, right? But that's not the case at all. There are a lot of different entities making up the Economic Development Corporation. Fill me in a little bit. Who else is involved with the Christian County Economic Development Corporation?
Well, we just, what we're trying to do right now, we know that economic development works best when everybody in the county is involved. And I certainly don't have the talents, all of the talents necessary to bring jobs to the community. But when we put all of the effort, all of the resources, all of the abilities of all of the people in the county, then we have a really talented group of people that are much better at things than I am. So what we're trying to do is get people involved with us. And the purpose of our economic development plan is to get between 50 and 60 people functioning on 10 different committees that we have organized here. And some were organized previously, and we've simply wrapped our arms around them and said, well, you guys are doing a great job. That's a cool thing that you're doing. So it depends on the circumstances of what we're trying to do, but we've got a lot of people involved with us. That's a great thing, because the more people we have, the more excitement, enthusiasm, the more talents and resources are brought to the table to help us accomplish the task. Because I've got to say, and this is not just because of where I work now, but I believe economic development has always been, will always continue to be, and is the most important issue in Christian County today. And I think it will be that way for the foreseeable future. It's been that way since I've been in Taylorville, and that's a really long time. So.
Well, I'm looking at this list of other committees, and one of the things that jumps out to me is the Small Town Taylor Committee, how they're on this, led by Lee Skinner. How are they contributing to the economic development situation of Christian County?
Well, I'll tell you, I think it's probably a portion. It's a very important portion of economic development. One of the things they're doing quite a number of things, but one of the things they're doing is during the nice months of the year, they have car shows at the Taylorville Square. And I don't know if I have a small little car that I have now that I enjoy driving and playing with, So I take that small car and go up there. I've never seen that many people on the Taylorville Square now that we have during a car show. There are literally hundreds of people. There are hundreds of automobiles. It's a lot of fun to go, and little kids and families and everybody's walking around looking at the cars. It's just more fun. And they've created a heck of an excitement. And that brings people, they're drawing people from Springfield, Decatur, Jacksonville, who own vehicles, who like to show them, So they're getting a lot of outside people from Taylorville, but also Taylorville people. So it's a great thing. And they've done a marvelous job.
Not only do they bring in people visiting, but they also leave a good impression on those people visiting, so that maybe one day, if there's a situation that arises, they could want to move to Taylorville,
absolutely.
Christian County.
Absolutely. That's the whole idea of this whole program, is that each of these committees are doing different things that we think are important toward the effort of new job creation in Taylorville. But one of the things, small town Taylorville has been so successful in getting so many, I've been, like I said, around Taylorville a long time. I don't know that I've seen as many people on the Taylorville Square all at one time as there are at those car shows, because it's pretty remarkable. People love to come out and look at the vehicles. So yeah, it's just great.
I want to talk more about some of these committees from the Christian County Economic Development Corporation with Executive Director Dick Adams after this short time out. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You'll always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first.
WTIM. Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper, your host. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You'll always do better with Landmark. People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. I'm here with Christian County Economic Development Director Dick Adams. The CCEDC strives to bring jobs and businesses to Christian County and Taylorville. And one of the big projects they've been working on lately is the Taylorville Industrial Park. And I have Director Dick Adams in studio. We talked a lot about some of the committees that are part of it. We just kind of scratched the surface, though, Dick. What are some of the things that the CCEDC does when they bring jobs to Christian County to keep those jobs in Christian County?
I think if you were trying to sum up the effort, you would say that the effort is based upon communication. If you are communicating with the industries in your community, you have a lot better chance to address any problems that they're having prior to the time that those problems become monumental. So what we're trying to do is set up a group of people. It's called our retention committee. Their role is to make contact one time per year with every industry in Christian County, to talk with them, find out how they're doing in Christian County. Are there ways that we can assist them? Maybe they have a new project where they're going to need a new machine for a couple $100,000 that that does something for them that will assist their business. We ought to be helping them try to find those funds, so that maybe there are state funds available. Maybe there are a lot of different types of funding that might be available to help a company in that situation. If we don't know about it, then we're not helping them. So this is just a committee to communicate, find out what the problems are, and try to address those problems in a quick, expedited fashion, so that the company, they know that we appreciate them, we're concerned about them, we want to assist them so that they do well in Christian County.
Taylorville Finance Committee Chair Larry Budd is the head of the Business District TIF Committee. Tell me about that committee and its goals.
Well, I think if you look at incoming industry, oftentimes there are about, I think there are what, 3,300 communities in Illinois. Everyone is willing to provide incentives to those companies that are considering an expansion or relocation. And certainly, if we have to be in that ball game, we have to be a player. We have to be competitive with what other communities are offering if we have expectations that we're going to attract new jobs to this area. One of the ways we can assist them is through 3 different programs that have been set up mainly by the city. First of all, we have an enterprise zone, which addresses property taxes. It addresses sales taxes used on construction materials. There are other things involved with it, but primarily those would be the big ones. We have an enterprise zone. An enterprise zone helps a purchaser of a lot. Let's use the Taylorville Industrial Park as an example. Someone wants to build a new facility there. Some of the horizontal costs in building, not the cost of the building, but the cost of getting in preparation for the building, extending sewer lines, water lines, roads, sewers, whatever it is that that customer needs to try to make sure that when he opens the doors, he's ready to go. The majority of those costs can be paid back to the buyer of that property. So it's a heck of an incentive to try to get people locate in our industrial park. We also have a business district, as you know, out there, where I think from what I'm understanding, it's not very common that a community has a business district, an enterprise zone, and TIF district all in the same area. We have all of them in the industrial park. So that, by just the nature of having those things, that makes us a pretty competitive community for a customer that is considering a relocation or expansion, some type of job creating activities. So what we want, Mr. Budd is going to help us ushering our customers through that process, through that kind of myriad of things that they're open to them and available to them. They normally have to appear before a city council committee and explain what they're doing and lay it out so that the alderman can make a reasonable decision about it on all of those, the enterprise zone, the TIF, and the business district. So it's important that we have somebody kind of leading. If they're from out of town, they don't understand that process. So we've got to kind of walk them through that process. And that's an important role that Mr. Budd is playing. Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate the overview of that committee. We have time to kind of overview one more. Go ahead and take your pick of one that you'd like to highlight before you go in about a minute.
Well, we've got a hot prospects or recruitment committee, a retention committee. I'll go quickly. A mayors of other cities committee. We're going to work very hard with the seniors at Taylorville High School. Obviously, when you think through the process of trying to get employees for our employers, many of the people that go on to college do not come back to Taylorville or Christian County to live and to raise their families. We want to encourage them to do that. So we're going to begin working with the seniors in Taylorville High School to make sure that they know of the jobs and the pay and the circumstances with employers in Christian County, because we have a lot of jobs available and they pay good wages. We also have an agriculture committee. We're obviously the primary industry in Taylorville, Christian County, and Illinois is agriculture. So we want to be a player in that in a little stronger way. So we're trying to kick that committee in the rear end to get it functioning at a high level. So if there's some agricultural job creation that comes our way, we want to be on top of that. And so that's why we've created that. So we've created about 10 committees and laid out the responsibilities. And we believe we'll have good talent on it because people are joining the effort and excited about it. So it should be good for the people of Christian County.
That's CCEDC Director Dick Adams. Thank you so much, Dick.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.